So the really interesting piece with the mastermind attack is named Sonal Ghaffari. Okay, so he's the head of ISIS-KP in the Pakistan-Afghanistan border region. What a lot of people don't know is around like 2018, early 2019 timeframe, he was running the Haqqani Network cell in Kabul. So he had 1,000 Haqqani Network members under him, and was basically really close to Sirajuddin Haqqani. And Sirajuddin said, hey, we're putting this Doha deal into place. And when this Doha deal goes into place, as the Haqqani Network, I will no longer be able to do suicide attacks and suicide bombings because it's part of the deal that we're not going to do them anymore. I need a way to still commit the attacks I need to commit. Sonal, will you join ISIS? And if you join ISIS, I will let you have our networks. I will let you have the resources you need for attacks. And so Sonal agreed, and Sonal basically became a plant in ISIS. And he actually, because of his network in Kabul, basically became quickly the head of ISIS, IS-KP for Kabul, okay? So come around like March 2020, IS-KP is having their Shura meeting. So all their senior leaders who run the different committees and the head, and it's down in Kandahar. It gets raided. So it's raided by like a commando, Sami Sadat, okay? So they go in and they arrest everyone. They arrest like 38 people and they detain them all. So all the senior leadership now of IS-KP is basically in prison. And the funny part is they also arrested 4 Russian women with him, which is actually like super funny because I'm going to just tell a little story. I don't really tell stories, but I was on an airplane once to Quetta and there was hardly anyone on the plane. So the flight attendant got really chatty with me. And then she goes, "Are you Russian?" And I said, "No, why would you ever think I'm Russian?" She said, "The only white people who come to Quetta are Russian prostitutes." And I was like, "What? You think I'm a prostitute?" So the funny part is when I heard there's 4 Russian women in this raid, I'm like, oh my God, that's where the Russian prostitutes go. They hang on the wings of the Shura meeting for the terrorists. So anyway, which is another thing, right? These terrorists want to stone women for adultery and they're bringing in Russian prostitutes, and I'm tired of the crap. So anyway, so that now is Aslam Faruqi, okay? So Aslam Faruqi was the head of ISIS-KP. He started the group. He was a Pakistani, and he came from a group called the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, okay? So he's now in prison. So IS-KP is like, who's going to lead us? And they're like, well, the Sonal kind of has the most guys under him in Kabul, and they started just deferring to him, and he became the leader of IS-KP. Well,